Today is Thursday, April 10, 2025. We're back for another daily recap. We're looking at this candle here. They did the retracement that we talked about. They closed up here on Wednesday. They gapped lower at the open and did a pretty good retracement, ended up closing kind of in the middle. So really, they're in the middle of nowhere. A lot of back and forth. It's been kind of a crazy week. The dust has not settled yet. There's still some pretty big ranges. I had no intention of trading again. I said as much in the game plan that was sent out in the morning. We'll look at that shortly. I did start a recording of the charts and just let it go. Price ended up just dropping off the screen. I didn't get back to the screens until around 12:30 or so. Notice that nothing had been recording because price was below. Price had gotten pretty low from the way I had the chart adjusted. So the recording is kind of useless. But one thing I want to point out is something I noticed on several charts. Like here's a 30-minute. Let's go ahead and reset this. 30-minute, 15-minute chart, even a 10-minute chart. So this is around 12:50 or so, 12:40. I'm looking at this and I just saw a few things happen. If you've taken the course, the E-mini Trading 101 course, you probably know what I'm talking about now. There's a timing aspect to this. There are moving averages. There is an important Fibonacci retracement and a certain candle pattern here that would have told me that price was probably going to go higher from here. After price would come back and retrace part of that move, they'd probably go higher. They did it once. They came back again here and did it again. So I'm not saying it would have been easy to trade. There were several clues, one of them being where they bottomed out. That's an important retracement. If you wanted to, while this wasn't an exact level on the board this morning, this was a longer term play. The price was at about 515 or so. They're back down to this area. That's where they bounced. 515 to 528 or so. Well over 100 points. Not necessarily easy to do that, but when you're starting to see the same things on larger time frames, it just gives more validation that this was an area for a bounce. But that's all I'll say about that. In terms of the big picture, they're still in the middle of this mess. We have one more day in the week, which could make the week interesting, the way the week closes. Still have this zone down here. I'm going to keep it on the board because this is important in the big picture. We'll run through the daily levels. You can read them, the game plan. This was all sent out before the opening bell. Another day with a high likelihood of increased volatility. I did not intend to get involved, so no trades for me. Although it's not very exciting to show a tracking log with no trades, that really is the best approach, in my opinion. I mentioned here I don't look at not trading as missing opportunities. I just look at it as not incurring unnecessary risk. There will be plenty of normal days in the future where this strategy works the majority of the time. The reason I pointed out that setup where you could have gone long is because that's the type of thing you could be looking for in real time, independent of the levels that are identified before the market opens. It's about what price is doing in real time. It's how to read the charts and interpret what they're telling you and the likely next move. But that's what we were working with in the morning, and here are the levels and trend lines and zones and a bunch of things that were explained. Just a screenshot of it here before the opening bell. And they hit this one zone. You can call it two levels. And really, they would have worked well if you traded them. The first time they came into 524.28, they bounced way more than 4 points. When they came into 520.82, they came within 6 pennies and took off enough for a base hit. Doesn't look like a lot here, but we're talking hundreds of S&P points in a day. 4 points is hardly anything. So that would have been a near miss if you were strictly playing by the rules. That's another base hit here. Spiked the level a little bit, pulled down quite a bit, spiked the next level up. So that would have satisfied both of these levels on the long and the short side. Long here, short here, short there. But once again, we're not going to count trades based on these rules and the strategy until the dust settles and the market starts acting normal. But you can see these levels were important throughout the day. And just for record, here's 515 down here. That's where they found a bottom, and that was the clues that were given on several charts at starting at about 12:30, 12:40 or so before 1 o'clock. And that's the money spot right there. If you knew what you're looking for, and I was tempted to take this trade, but like I said, I did not even look at the market until around 12:30, had the recording going, realized it wasn't going to work. So I'm not going to show the recording. It's kind of messy. There's really nothing past this point here, probably around 11 o'clock or so, because it was all underneath. And while I was tempted to take this trade, I had work to do, so I just went into the office. There are opportunities most days if you know what to look for. Once again, it's all explained in that course, E-mini Trading 101. It's on the website, Ticks&Trades.com if you're interested. And the tracking logs look like this, playing by the rules, 2 levels that were hit, or that one zone, no trades taken. A prudent trader would not have touched the market. It's an exciting week in terms of price action, but not so exciting in terms of our trades because there really aren't any. although I took a few earlier in the week and not sure what's going to happen tomorrow. As you know, there will be levels. As far as I know, I don't plan to trade, but there are other factors that go into that, and I'll know more in the mornings. So as far as today goes, that's a wrap. Pretty straightforward. We're letting the SPY settle in and find where fair price is. Price discovery, that's what it's all about. And when they start acting more or less normal, we will regain our typical approach of pulling base hits on a mostly regular basis. So I will talk to you in the next recap. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.